Alright guys, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial on how to use Illuminate to find some common or example performance task questions that kind of mirror what you see from the iLearn performance task questions. So I asked you today to find one question that you wanted to focus on this week with your students, and then what we're going to do is we're going to try to find a similar one in Illuminate, and I'm going to show you how to create an assessment to do that. Every one of you has different experience and exposure to Illuminate, so I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial, but please remember that you can pause the video at any time, and if you have additional questions, just come and ask me. I wanted to create this as a video so that you had the opportunity to go back to it if you ever needed it. So what you're going to see right now in front of my screen is, I'm going to go ahead and circle this is the question that I chose from 5th grade. So this is the 5th grade question, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this question, I'm going to keep it in mind as I go through the Illuminate item bank to try to find similar questions. Okay? And you notice in here it says which source would most likely be used the most helpful, and so I'm going to look for something that is going to ask for me to find a source that is most likely and then give some details with it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and open up and go to Illuminate. So you're going to see, okay, I'm going to make the screen big. I'm going to go up here to my link, which is Illuminate. And what you'll see is and I'll highlight what you would need to put in if you guys don't have this saved, but it is goshenschools.illuminateed.com. Okay, and anytime you go into Illuminate, you need to go ahead and sign in with Google. Okay. And that should be your staff account. All right, so now that I'm in, the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to create an assessment, and I want to be able to see the things in the item bank. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over here to Assessment. I'm going to go to View Assessments. Actually, I take that back. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to press pause. I'm sorry. Totally looked out my window and got distracted. So I'm going to go to Assessments, and I'm going to go to Create an Assessment. That's what I want to do. Okay. And then you'll see this pop up. And what I want to do is I want to click on the item bank. The item bank is the questions that are already there. You don't have to create any questions. You just have to find ones you like. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. All right. And then once it's done, it's going to take a second. Okay. All right. And as it's loading, Illuminate's a little slow, so this video might take a little bit longer than I want it to. All right. So down here, then the next thing that pops up, you have Assessment, Standard Mode, Quick Mode, Item, and Passage. And to be honest with you, I want to do Standard Mode. Quick Mode, it's going to generate something on its own, and in this case, we want to be able to find one that works the best, so we're going to do Standard Mode. So go ahead and click Next. All right, you're going to have to give your assessment a name. So for this one, I might just say Performance Task Practice 1, and I might say 5th grade. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to scroll it down. You don't need to fill out anything else. It's not a big deal. Just go ahead and press Create. It just has to have a name. If it doesn't have a name, you're never going to be able to find it. All right, next is you need to go ahead and enter your standards. So I'm going to give you a couple hints. There's a couple things you can do. Number one, if you go to Indiana Academic Standards all the way at the bottom, you can click the Indiana Standards, okay, and then go into the subjects, and you want to make sure you click the correct year. You want to use 2014 ELA. They won't have anything for 2007, so you'll just see that there's nothing there. And then the grade level. And I chose 5th grade. And one of the things to know about 5th grade is that generally in their performance tasks, they're dealing with 3 sources, which is a lot. So your students might not be ready this first week to deal with 3 sources, and if that's the case, click on 4th grade. They generally have 2 sources, okay? But for now, I'm going to try to mirror as best as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 5th grade, and then I'm going to go down here and I'm looking at foundations, literature, nonfiction, vocabulary, writing, and I definitely want to do writing. And I'm going to look at finding, assessing, reporting. I'm just going to click on a lot of these writing ones. So I'm going to click on this standard, and you'll see it says selected next to it. And I'm also going to click on, you'll see where my little bubble's at, that one. It's a shame you can't see your mouse. And then the next one here, right there, okay? So the other thing I'm going to tell you to do is that one of the things that might help you is if you go to reading nonfiction. So I click down on nonfiction, okay? And key ideas and structural support. Okay, so let me go ahead and circle it. Key ideas and textual support. That one right there, that one also is attached to a lot of things because you're finding details. So you might want to click on that one as well. So I'm going to do that. And you notice there's 507, 225, 109. That's a lot of items. So I've got enough options now. I'm going to go ahead and click next. So you'll see my standards I chose are up at the top next to selected standards. Okay, you'll see those here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this item banks, and what I want to do is I'm going to show you that everything needs to be checked, because then it's going to be pulling from all different places. Okay, I'm also going to take you through the item types and with or without passages. Now we definitely want with today, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So it's unfortunately you can't see my pointer, but I'm going to take you through it, so just watch as you go. So I'm going to click on the item banks. I'm just going to click on that list, and I'm going to make sure I have all of these selected. They are, so I'm going to go ahead and press update filters in green. Then I'm going to go to item types, and I'm going to click on select item types, and when I do, this pops up. And I really want to have constructed response. Okay, so I'm going to click on constructed response. And I'm not sure what explicit construction response is, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that too, just because, hey, it might be there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click update folders. And then down here where it says passages, well, I want it to be with passages, and I know that because these performance tasks always have some sources. So in this case, I'm hoping I get one with 3. All right. And then locked or unlocked, it doesn't matter. Questions become locked if they've been used on the interim. In this particular case, they can be both. It's okay if we're reusing them for practice. Okay. And then I'm not going to choose anything else. I'm going to let it go. And you'll notice that now down here, I've got 75 items to choose from and 55 passages. So you can see that 55 passages, that's a lot. But what I really want is one that is going to ask for this whole most likely source and give details. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a couple minutes to pull that back up, and I'm going to go and I'm going to look, and I'm just going to do a quick skim. That's a summary. Don't want that one. I'm writing. Nope, don't want that one. That's too much. I'm not that far. Okay. Take notes. Nope, not ready for that. So as you'll see, I'm just going to find one that is going to match what I'm trying to do. And really it's going to be, let's see. This one. So see here, what did the author most likely intend by mentioning that knowing this information should change our minds about the amount of water we use at the end of paragraph 4? Support your answer with details from the text. So that one's pretty good. If you look at this one's pretty good too. Okay, so that one's pretty good. I'm going to actually add this one. So if I want to choose that particular question, all I have to do is choose this question because this is the one I'm working on. So if I choose this question, I go ahead and click the add button, and it'll add both the passages and the question. Now, I could be done at this point, but I'm just going to double check and see if I find any that are a little bit better, okay, that are just going to work a little bit better. The last time I was in here, I saw a question about cars in the future or something, and I thought that one would be kind of cool to do, so I'm just going to see if I find that one at all. This one's pretty good. What key details in the text support the idea that the United States offered considerable assistance to the Allied? That one's not bad. Okay. Let's see if I find anything else real quick. All right, so I've looked a little bit. I can continue to look, and you might want to look a little bit farther, but for my purpose of this video, I'm really just trying to see if I can show you how to make an assessment that you can use. So I'm going to go with the one I have. Even if it's not great, I'm going to go with it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to where it says next, up here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and click next in the blue button. Okay, so I'm going to click next. And now you're going to see my question. So now you'll see my passage. Here's the passage. Okay, it looks like I only chose one that has one passage. So maybe this wasn't the best one to choose. I could go back. Some of them do have 3 sources, but for now, just to show you the assessment, I'm just going to continue. So go ahead and click next again. All right, this creates the test booklet. That's fine, just click next. And then you're going to publish. And if you publish and administer, here's what you need to do. Okay, go ahead and click publish. And once you publish, then you can actually give this assessment. Now, at the bottom, you scroll down, everything looks good. We're going to go ahead and really, we're done. Okay, so you get this weird screen. So what you want to do is come back up here to the top right next to my name where it says return to illuminate. So I'm going to return to illuminate. Okay, and I'm going to go back over here to assessments, which you can see highlighted. I'm going to go to view assessments. Okay. And when you do that, this last one I created is going to be at the top of my list. I'm actually going to click on it, and I'm going to do that because right now it's only shared with me. So if I want other people to use it, like if I'm Carol Diaz and I want Jen Drescher to use it, I'm going to actually have to share it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I clicked off that screen just on the left to right side, and I'm going to go ahead down here to click sharing. And down here, it says this assessment hasn't been shared with any users. Okay, click here to share it. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to share it with a user. So click on user, and then I might tell the exact person. So like, for example, if I want to send it with Jen Drescher. Oh, look at that, teacher Jen Drescher right there. And then once I do that, I'm going to scroll down. They can view it and download it. They can administer it. And if you want her to be able to edit it, to add or subtract from it, you could do that too. And then simply share. And once you share, then she has access to it too. And that's how you create an assessment. Okay? Plain and simple, that's all it is. If you go back to that assessment, okay, and you want to give it to your students, all you simply do is go to action, administer. And once you do that, you can do test with a quick code. So click test with a quick code, and the code's going to come up right here. And there you go. That's the end of this video.